What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Outlier episode. We are on episode number 19, I believe. Real quick, guys, before we start, I want to get something. What's the word?
Out of the way.
Yeah, out of the way, in case you guys are wondering. So, as you guys can see on my face, I have this gash here.
Damn, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I got my ass beat the other day, and
Who beat your ass?
So at work I got a box hit me right here, and so yeah,
you should have just stayed with the getting your ass beat. I think it would have been way better for you.
No, but people say I look cool.
I'm surprised you haven't got your ass beat though.
Yeah, I know, me too. I talk a lot of shit. Anyways, yeah, thought I'd get that out of the way, just in case you guys are like, what the fuck is that on his face?
If we lived together, I would have beat your ass already.
Yeah, I would love to see that shit. I'll choke your ass out.
When I grab your ankle?
Nah, bro,
I start to squeeze?
I'll get you in the master lock. You ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna have you squirming. No, but yeah, as always, guys, you know I have my boy Roger with me.
Make sure y'all go follow the Common Podcast.
Yes, for sure. We're gonna start off with the Would You Rather. You know how we always do. This one comes from Esteban yet again. He says, would you rather you had to stay in a pitch black room, no vision whatsoever for a week, but in the room you had to have an audio playing constantly, repeating either creepy whispering or that ringing sound you hear in your ear?
Ooh, that's good.
Okay. He said he answered and he said I'd pick whispering because I would do my best to listen to the whispers to see what it says, because I think I would go crazy from the ringing noise.
Okay. Wait. What would you rather?
Would you rather? Yeah. So
you have to pick one or the whisper or the ringing. Yeah,
or
definitely whisper. Yeah. 100% whispering. I don't think that's a question. Who wants to go with like this loud ringing noise?
I don't know, bro. I feel like at some point the ringing you would kind of like zone out, right?
You would kind of zone out, but the whispering, it's like at least it's interesting, because think about it. You're in darkness. You're not doing anything. You're isolated, and I mean the whispering, you have something to kind of like entertain you, I guess you can say. Like, what is this person saying, or I don't know. Yeah.
So I would pick the whispering too, especially if you know it's like an audio recording. If it's just whispering, like, and you don't know what the fuck it is, and you know, then that's different, right?
Yeah.
But if you know it's a recording, then yeah, I'd pick the recording all day.
100%. That one was easy. I thought he was gonna go with that whole scenario versus a whole nother scenario, because it's only a week. If you think about it, the darkness is no big deal because people are blind, bro. Like, people literally see darkness for their whole lives. I'm pretty sure we can last for 7 days. It's only the noise that we really have to account for. And
yeah, for sure. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. So the first topic we're gonna talk about today is I spoke to you about this and you have no idea what this is about, right? So Ghislaine, I think it's pronounced Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced to 20 years in prison for what would you think? She's the ex-girlfriend of a really high up rich guy that was had a lot of investments in politics and stuff. What would you think she went to jail for?
Cooperating, being involved in some way.
Okay. Well, so she went to jail for sex crimes. Yeah,
which is what the whole investigation, well, the big part, the more popular part of this whole investigation was, right?
Yeah. So on the screen, you guys see a picture of Jeffrey and Ghislaine, which I just wanted to show you guys that so you guys know how they look in case you didn't, because they look non-threatening and menacing. So obviously they look like your average people. Are you searching them up? Yeah, they look very, very average. So basically, if you guys have not seen the documentary, I would definitely recommend you go check it out. It's on Netflix. It's called, I think it's like it's called like Filthy Rich or something. But if you type in Jeffrey Epstein, it'll pop up. It's a whole documentary about how this guy gets caught, right? And so let me sum this up for you guys. Basically, he's this billionaire or millionaire, one of the two. It doesn't matter. He's fucking wealthy, right? So he's in cahoots with all these political figures
and powerful people all across the world. Right?
Yeah. So he's hanging out with like the prince from England. He's friends with Donald Trump, Bill Gates. Like these are all his friends, right? And so Bill Clinton as well. I thought I'd mention. Anyways, so he has this island where he would supposedly, allegedly fly out these other rich, famous people, and they would allegedly have sex with underage girls on this island. Like this is what this island was known for. It's called Sex Island or some shit like that. And so here's the interesting part, right? So because that was, you know, supposedly what was up in the air, he was awaiting trial in jail for other crimes that were like obvious, right? Like they already proved that he had been with like underage girls and shit like that. And so yeah,
sex trafficking, right?
So here's where the conspiracy comes in. He was expected to testify and to kind of admit like, yeah, well, I did this, but not only did I do this, but these people were on the island with me. Like, there was records of Bill Clinton being on the island, like, cause you have to sign this certain thing before you fly out there or something like that. I don't know. And he had signed it. And so this is where the conspiracy comes in, that he was killed because before he was able to go on trial, he supposedly committed suicide in his cell in a federal prison. Now, how does that make sense, right?
Doesn't make sense, yeah.
Yeah, so, apparently this guy was under surveillance, and for some reason, check this out. This is a federal building that has cameras at every corner, right? Around every cell. And for some reason that night, the cameras weren't working.
Yeah, come on, bro.
They have no footage. They're like, oh, it's like the cameras went out, like, but we came in the cell and he killed himself. Like, he had something wrapped around his neck. He obviously killed himself. Right? So how's that? How do you feel about that? What do you think?
I think that's way too obvious to say that. It's because the thing is, like, you can't believe in coincidences, especially when it comes to the government. Coincidences just do not happen. Cameras are good day before and after, except for the night that Epstein outs himself. That's too coincidental. He knows way too much, and these powerful people know that he knows that and can possibly give that information out to lessen his sentence or to get rid of the death sentence. So they're gonna go after him. That's what I think. I think that's pretty obvious. But where does the wife mix into this? And
so
why?
Yeah. So the reason why she was charged with stuff is because she was an accomplice. So what she would do is she would provide the girls. How? So what she would do is she would meet these young teenagers, and this is how man, it's insane, bro. You have to watch the documentary because there's like over 30 victims featured in the documentary. I could be wrong on that, but it's a crazy amount that all have the same story. This is what they all say across the board, is that Ghislaine Maxwell
groomed them,
reached out to them, and was like, hey, like, my husband's this really rich guy. If you need a job for the summer, you could come do some chores or this and that. And then some were interested, and then she would say like, hey, like, my husband needs a massage. He had a long day at work. We'll give you this much money if you massage him. And the kids being like extremely young, I'm talking like 12, 13, 14.
Oblivious, probably.
Oblivious would be like, sure, like, whatever. And so that's how they would get him. It's through her, because she was a trusting female that was kind of like, you know, the front man for this whole thing. So she would be the one that would go out and get him for him and her friends.
Damn, that's crazy. So, I don't know too much about it because I haven't seen the documentary, but there is sex trafficking going on with this, right?
What do you
Or
mean?
was that the only thing that was happening? The wife, this girl, what's her name? Her name's pretty weird. Ghislaine?
I think it's pronounced Jelaine. Just Jelaine.
Ghislaine. So the only victims were coming from Ghislaine.
Oh man, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I believe so. Yeah.
And only 30 victims? I thought there was way more. Regardless, that's not. I mean, that doesn't make
No,
it
so
any
so
better.
this is what they eventually did, right? So she started off getting all the girls, and then she would groom them, and eventually some of them would even, because she picked out people that came from troubled homes, right?
Yeah.
Like these like super desperate people that were poor and didn't have a dad, didn't have a mom. Maybe young kids that were getting into trouble, shit like that, right? So a lot of these people ended up, not a lot, but a couple of them decided to stay with them and kind of, like fuck it, like they're paying us, I don't whatever, and so they kind of
like
they groomed them into being employees for them, into getting even more girls. And so one of the girls that had testified and is in the documentary. She was like 16 or something at the time when she first got with Epstein. And then she eventually became a girl that got other young girls for him, right? So she would go out and recruit people.
Yeah.
And it's crazy, man. She tells these stories about the island and how all these rich and powerful people would just go there and just have sex with these young girls. Like that's all. That was the only purpose of that island, was for that.
Here's the interesting thing to me is they've obviously visited this island, right? What type of evidence or what type of stuff was there?
Wait, who?
The island. Like
who visited it? You mean? Oh, I have no idea. I don't know if that they're even allowed to do that because that's technically his land. Like that's. He owns that. I don't know how that works. I think you would need like these crazy. A crazy amount of paperwork and efforts to do that, but so yeah,
because I'd be interested into seeing like what type of facilities do they have, and just like the environment there.
Yeah, so I think they have pictures of it, and it looks like a normal island that looks like you would go to vacation at.
Yeah.
But apparently it's where, all these rich people will fly out to fuck little girls. Yeah, that's what the alleged thing was. And it makes sense, right? That they would want to kill Epstein because he got caught. And not only that, he's probably going to rat everyone else out to try and get less time. So it's, supposedly this guy killed himself and the cameras went out. Just doesn't seem plausible to me. I think someone got him killed. And the Clintons, the Clintons are very known for.
Bro, if anybody believes the Clintons, bro, something's wrong with you. Them some sneaky ass people, bro.
Yeah, they are. And yeah, man. I mean, it's insane. Like all these people cut ties. The second that all this was announced that Epstein was his predator and all this shit.
Yeah.
Everyone cut ties. Like Bill Gates is like, oh, I knew him, but I didn't know him like that. Even though there's like shit tons of pictures with him. Trump too. Trump's like, oh, I like he used to be like, I love Epstein, because they would ask him about him, right? And then once it came out, he was like, oh well, he was cool, but I didn't know him like that. Everyone just started distancing themselves.
What did he do for a living?
So yeah, that's another thing. It wasn't clear how he got rich. So this guy was a dropout. He didn't go to college, but he was really good with words and manipulating people. So what he would do is he would try to pass himself as someone that was with a degree and with all this experience and knowledge. and so he got himself really good jobs through that. And through that, like, there was this one instance where they're like, "Hey, bro, like, we'll give you the job. You know, you seem like you fit. We just need to see your credentials, right? Give us your diploma, like, your degree and all this bullshit, whatever." And he'd be like, "Yeah, bro, like, it's coming. Don't worry." And like, so he secured this job at this very high place with no degree that required a degree, and he eventually had to quit because they kept asking him for his credentials, right? And so he made all this money through that, but obviously not wealthy, but he met these very powerful people through that, right? Like executives, VIPs, whatever. And slowly but surely through that, he made deals with them, and like, I don't know. I honestly don't know what the fuck he did, but
you think it has anything to do with like this whole like telekinesis, hypnosis stuff, kind of like what ties in with Manson, how Manson was able to kind of like hypnotize these people into doing things that they weren't fully aware of?
oh,
I don't know, because I don't know the story of Epstein too well, but it sounds to me like you're saying he's good with words and all that, but in order to get so many powerful people involved into sex trafficking, that you have to be pretty damn convincing or doing something kind of in a spiritual sense.
Yeah. So, the Prince of England, I forgot his name. I honestly don't know, but he also tried distancing himself, right? And so here's the crazy part. There's a picture of the prince with this underage girl, and with Epstein,
Shoot.
and with Ghislaine, whatever the fuck. And so they're all four of them drunk as fuck in the room. And so there's this underage girl and these three adults, right? And the prince says, "Oh yeah, she was just a fan, and she just wanted a picture." Like, dude, you can look at this interview. They interviewed him about this, and he goes, "Yeah, she was just a fan or something. She just wanted a picture. I didn't think nothing much of it. But yeah, I don't know who that girl is, whatever." And then the girl's like, "Yeah, no, like that night we slept together. Like, I was 16 at the time, and we slept together, and that was all through Epstein." And so there's little stories like that you're like, "Fuck, bro, like if this is real, this is insane, you know?"
How do you prove it, right?
Yeah, how do you prove it, right? But the fact that there's this picture of them fucking drunk as hell with this minor girl in the room, they're in the room, right? That's sus already, you know?
Yeah, definitely sus. But again, like, just how do you prove
Yeah,
that?
how do you prove that?
It's just tough, dude. Yeah, too many coincidences going on. I don't believe any of the like.
If you're into conspiracies, though, you'd have to watch this because there's so many accusations. Like, another thing about how he got his money is this billionaire named Wax Lesnar, I think. I'm probably fucking up his name. He's a billionaire, and he gave Jeffrey like a couple $100 million for. And people are like, "Wait, why did you give him a couple $100 million?" And he's like, "I don't know."
Well, see, that's what I'm saying,
And,
bro.
and so this is what people say. People are saying that Jeffrey got him an underage girl, and he probably took a video or a picture, and he blackmailed him. And so this is the theory behind his wealth, is that that's what he does. And so that's what the island was mainly for, right? Fly out these billionaires, like, "Hey, I'm gonna have a bunch of girls, whatever. Get them to sleep with the underage girl, and I have proof that you fucked this fucking 15-year-old. Give me a couple $100 million, you know." So that's what people suspect.
Yeah, bro. Now that, how else, bro? Like, if you're a billionaire, the worst thing that can probably come out is that you're having sex with underage females. So it's like, that's a perfect blackmail.
Yeah, bro. You have to watch it.
There's so much stuff I have to watch, and I never sit down and watch anything.
Yeah, man. But this is insane because I love real life stories, right? And this is one that just I can't believe. Like, the fact that this dude killed himself before he went to trial, that's insane, bro. Someone had to murder his ass.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't gonna be like anybody with power, but somebody with power had to have paid somebody within. You know what I mean? Like it could have been like a one of the guards there or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
pay a
No, but
guard.
this guy was a huge pervert though. Like in the documentary, they mentioned that they raided his house once this whole thing was going down. Right after like these 30+ girls came forward to say they were
Yeah.
molested by him, or raped, whatever. Um, they went in his house and he had like all these sexual things like throughout his whole house, like just pictures of dicks and like these random weird sexual things. So this
Think he
guy,
was hung?
nah. So this is a funny thing, right? So the police were interviewing him, right, and this was in the documentary as well. And they go, "So you didn't sleep with any of these girls?" And he goes, "No. Like I just paid him to massage me. That's it." Right? That was his thing. And so he goes, "Oh, really?" One of the detectives goes, "Oh, really? Well, one of these girls mentioned how you have this weird shaped dick. Like you have this very unique dick that is almost shaped like a hook or something, right?" And then he goes, and you can see he gets upset. And so he goes, nah, I don't have that. And so one thing
Let me see.
one thing that they were saying is that he's a very um
Insecure.
he's very insecure. And so that was one of the tactics and to try to get him to reveal, like, because all these girls said that he had this weird shaped dick. That was another thing that they all said. So
He had some curvature going on.
he had some weird shaped dick. I don't know, but that was one thing that they had mentioned. So they try to get show that in his face to be like, dude, we know. Like these girls told us details.
That's interesting, bro.
Yeah. Well, again, check that out, guys. The next thing I want to talk about is there was a redheaded boy found in the woods.
Yeah, you told me about this. This is one of those 411 cases.
Yeah. So yeah,
These are always so interesting.
look, this is the little boy right here. He looks a little off, right? A little mischievous. He's a little redheaded boy. All right, what was I gonna read? A missing three-year-old boy has returned home safely in Montana after spending 2 days outdoors on his own, officials said. So basically, this little kid was gone for 2 days.
This was recent.
Yeah, recent. He was gone for 2 days, and as you can see in the picture, that's him when he was found. He just looks a little dirty, and his socks are a little ripped. He was in socks. So the fact that this kid was untouched is another thing, another mystery that happens a lot, right?
This is kind of like another conspiracy theory thing to talk about, bro, because it's so interesting because for the listeners that are listening right now, this happens far more often than what you think. From any type of age range, people literally go missing for days and come back. They find them and almost as if nothing happened to them. There's no injuries. They might be a little bit dehydrated, maybe depleted here and there, but that's about it. They come back great condition. They travel like close to like hundreds of miles and stuff like that, which seems pretty impossible to do on foot in rugged area and stuff like that. So here's my theories behind it, bro. Do you think, okay, there's two different theories because they have to be separated, but it aligns with one theory. Do you think these people are taken?
Yeah, so
Like some people think that they're abducted and some people think that they go to an alternate universe and fucking come back.
yeah, I don't know if I believe the alternate universe, but I feel like an abduction might be more plausible, right? Because for a lot of these victims, they can't tell you what happened, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They'll be like, I felt like I was gone for an hour or two, right? And they're like, no, motherfucker, you were gone for 2 to 3 days. Like in this instance, they reported that he was just a little hungry and dehydrated. That's it. All right. So, and the kid's like, I don't know what happened. I felt like I was gone for 30, 40 minutes. But like, no, he was gone for 2 days. So that falls in line with what I would think would happen if you were to be abducted, right?
Right.
You're taken for so long, but it feels like so little to you because, you know, they're over there running tests on your ass and shit.
Yeah, dude. But it's so interesting because it happens to people like in groups.
And this guy was from a rural place, right? So he was lost in the woods, supposedly.
Kid, right?
Yeah, little kid.
This happens also with groups. It's like, let's say there's a group of 4 people and they're all together and they look back and there's one person just completely gone. They don't know where they went, and then they find them 2 or 3 days later. How?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, dude. That's insane. I don't know if I believe in abduction, but
right. But if you then you're kind of contradicting yourself, because what about that alien story that one guy says? What's his name?
Who?
The one that was on Joe Rogan.
Oh, Bob Lazar? Well, he doesn't. No. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bob Lazar.
He doesn't talk about abductions. He just talks about the technology mainly.
No, not Bob Lazar. Then the other guy that actually claims he got abducted.
I don't know if I believe the story either. It's very wacky, bro. But I think it's an interesting story.
You told me on the other podcast we're talking about it, and you were trying to like argue to me about how credible he was.
Well, I like to play the devil's advocate, but yeah, that's I know who you're talking about. Trevor Wallace is his name? Yes.
And what's interesting about him is that his is very similar, right? So he was gone for what, a week, I think, or 5 days?
I think a total of 5 days, and he said he felt like he was gone for
like very little.
Yeah. No, and yeah, so for me, like when you get into too much detail, I kind of feel like you're lying a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So I 100% agree with you. It's like you can't be too detailed because it looks like you're trying to cover some type of tracks, and you can't be too broad because then people will I absolutely just would not believe you. It's like, oh, I got abducted. Well, what happened? I just got abducted.
Yeah. So one thing that I remember that I was like, this dude must be fucking lying, is that he says he woke up, he grabbed he said an object is what he said, and just hit one of the aliens, right? And he got up and kind of ran, and then that he met some blonde humanoid people that were blonde, and they all looked exactly the same, and they kind of guided him somewhere. And I'm like, that sounds more like a dream than anything, bro. That doesn't sound real, right?
Oh, bro. And honestly, though, I think that's more plausible. These people going not to a different dimension physically, but going to a different dimension mentally. You know what I mean? When people take psychedelics,
yeah,
right? They enter into another dimension where they're just they're revealed to things that are a lot more, right? So if you can kind of connect that with what's going on here, it kind of does make sense. And maybe the body enters a flow state that keeps them alive and well for that long. Maybe that's just a theory.
Yeah, well, I would think so, right? Maybe this guy just went through this mental episode in the woods when he was lost, right? But then that would be well, why would these 5 other people that he was with, cooperate with his lie and also make up that, because they supposedly saw a UFO when they walked up to it, remember? Yeah. So that doesn't make sense. And if he went through this mental thing, how would the body keep him alive for 5 days without water? You know, because
that's what I'm saying. It seems impossible to us. But what I'm saying is what if that enters you into some type of supernatural flow state where you're able to just survive for that long? I'm just it's a far-fetched theory, but I'm just saying.
I think you're watching a little too much Stranger Things.
Where does that come out on Stranger Things?
I don't know, but your mind's over here thinking of all this bullshit. That reminds me that's gonna come out soon in 2-3 days.
Yeah, bro, I'm so excited.
On Friday, right?
Yeah, but I think my theory is a lot more plausible. Well, it's not well thought out, so I wouldn't say plausible, but I think it's more rational than it is being abducted.
Yeah, but there's that one does bring up a lot of questions as to where he was, you know.
Well, I'm not talking about that specific story. I'm talking about all these people being gone, for so long and being able to survive without even knowing.
Yeah, we'll think about sleep paralysis, right? If you guys don't know what sleep paralysis is basically
his name is sleep paralysis.
What sleep paralysis is basically when you're asleep, you go through this state where you can't move and you feel like there's people around you or maybe even something crawling on you. And so a lot of people would first say, "Oh, well, that's demonic," right? But apparently the scientific term is sleep paralysis, which is this thing that your brain does that's scientifically, explainable. So maybe it's just something we don't know what the fuck it is yet, right?
So sleep paralysis, are you actually awake or are you asleep dreaming as if you were actually awake?
I think you're awake. Yeah, I think you're awake, but you just can't move.
That's so scary, bro.
And then I think the brain creates these illusions that there's other people in the room or there's someone on your chest, these weird things. Thankfully, I've never been through that shit. That's terrifying.
I don't even want to be talking about it right now because the mind is powerful and we can just both of us have sleep paralysis by tonight.
Nah, don't say that shit, bro.
What if you just wake up, you can't move, and I'm taking a dump on your chest?
That's rape.
Oh man. What else we got?
Let's see. That theory is interesting though. About the 100%. Mental thing. Yeah. So abortion, right? The abortion got overturned, but I want to talk about that on yours. So if you guys are interested in that, that's what we're gonna talk about, right?
Yes, right after this, recording this, guys, we're gonna an episode of the whole abortion law that's being messed with. I don't want to get into it right now. That's going to be going up on the Common Podcast. Should be by Friday. So if you're watching this, that episode was released yesterday because every episode of the Outlier podcast comes out on Saturdays. Mine come out on Fridays.
Yeah. Also, guys, this weekend, this Saturday is the UFC, and I want to know. I know a lot of you guys watch UFC, so I want to know your predictions. So comment. Because this comes out at 11, so before the fights start, make sure you comment who you have and by what round. Real quick, I have Israel Adesanya. I have Volkanovski versus Holloway. That's a hard one. I think Volkanovski's gonna win, but just because I like Max, I'm gonna go with Max. So I got Israel, Max, and what was it?
Alex Pereira and Sean Strickland.
Ooh, that's a good fight. That's a great fight. They're both very good strikers. I'm gonna go with Alex Pereira just because he's a new UFC guy and they tend to surprise people sometimes. So I'm gonna go with that. Let us know what you guys think. The last topic, real quick, guys, is giant New York rats. So let me show you guys a picture of these fucking things.
Wait, before we move on, isn't Alex Pereira the guy that knocked out or that beat Israel? Yeah, that's what I thought so. But that's why I'm going for him.
So
I want to see them come up together.
Yeah, so he's in the same weight class as him as well. So that is interesting. If you guys didn't know, I think he beat him twice. So this guy, Alex Pereira, he beat his ass in kickboxing. So now that he's in UFC, that's a match I'm interested in seeing 100%. So if he wins this, it's a huge step in the right direction. And hopefully we get that rematch.
Hopefully.
All right, but anyways, so here is the picture of the rat, right? New York is having a huge problem with rats right now. As you can see, yes, that is a rat. It looks like a possum, maybe even a raccoon, but that's a fucking rat. That's disgusting.
Dude.
New York is having a huge problem with that shit right now, and they're finally going to take action on it. They've always done, things for it, but they're finally like really
Bro,
putting their foot down.
they look like half rats, half squirrels.
They look huge, bro. They look fucking ginormous. I know everyone knows, right? Like New York is known for rats, but it's out of control now. And did you know that there's not one rat in the world that doesn't have a disease? Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yeah, every single rat has some type of disease.
Hmm.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah. I mean, they're not all deadly, right? Obviously.
No, I think it's just like, they have all types of shit.
Imagine being in New York and like they're probably hiring so many like rat uh the exterminators.
Yeah, for sure, man. I would like that job. It depends how much it pays, though. You wouldn't do that
Yeah,
shit?
I would do it for the right price, but it's not like I'm looking forward to
I'm
it.
sure that pays a lot, bro. There's got to be like people that are like, hell no, bro. Look how big those things are, dude. They're the size of possums. Like,
But I'd gear up like the ghost hunters.
ain't no way people doing that shit for minimum wage, bro. And if they do, I commend them because that's not worth minimum wage to be fighting the fucking mutant ass rats, bro.
These are the rats training the Ninja Turtles, cuz. Don't be messing with them. What's his name?
Fuck, I don't even know. Master Sashimi. I don't fucking know. Master Uguay's a turtle, huh?
Yeah, Uguay's my boy though, bro.
Master, I don't even know.
Splinter.
Splinter. Is it Master Splinter or just Splinter?
No, just Master Splinter, Chiloco. Hold on. Only no. He's Splinter, but on one of the movies or one of like the, you know how they have different like they had the TMTT or whatever the hell it was.
Oh
On
yeah,
that
yeah.
one, he's Master Splinter, but on the other one, he's just Splinter.
I don't
I
know.
think-
I'm not a fan of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Never been.
I didn't really like any of the Ninja Turtles. I saw the original Ninja Turtles a couple weeks ago, and I didn't really like it. So I haven't told you this, but I guess you kind of have an idea. I've been going back and watching a bunch of like kid movies back when we grew up, because as you know, I didn't get to see them when I was a kid. So, I read this book called Storyline, and it talks about the power of stories and how authors create stories for kids and stuff like that. But anyways, long story short, is the power in story is very like it's very powerful. And so I wanted to see what were the messages behind the cartoons and the movies back when we were growing up in comparison to now. So what I'm doing is I'm watching a bunch of old cartoon animated movies and I'm catching up. So I watch Pinocchio, I watch Ninja Turtles, I'm watching like a bunch of older ones and I'm trying to like work my way up. And that's why I'm very excited to watch the whole Buzz Lightyear movie, because Buzz Lightyear is, you know, obviously probably the newest movie that's animated right now.
Yeah, so that movie I just watched it today. Actually, it's very good. I give it an 8 for what it is, for it being an animated movie. It's not bad.
I'm excited because it has time travel in it.
Yeah, I liked it because obviously Buzz Lightyear is like, known for being a kid's type of thing, but as an adult I enjoyed it. A kid's type of, But as an adult I enjoyed it. It was good. But yeah, that's interesting because one thing I did notice is how the times have changed. Because in that movie, his commander is a black gay woman.
That's what I was gonna ask you, bro, because how much of pop culture is in there, and you kind of already mention it. A black lesbian
Yeah, and
commander. But think about the power behind it. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm going back and looking at old cartoons and looking at the new ones, because there's an agenda behind that on the surface nobody today would even think about. It's like, oh, a black gay commander, so big deal. But the agenda is that black people, lesbian people, gay people, all these different, transgender, whatever, they can be powerful too, right? It doesn't need to be your typical white male that's only powerful, right? Because Buzz Lightyear, he's obviously he's painted as this white guy, this typical white guy. Yeah. And it's like, okay, who's going to be Buzz Lightyear's guider? Okay, well, let's put a black lesbian chick. There's an agenda behind it.
Yeah, for sure. That's funny because I was actually watching Zoe 101 earlier today too, and it was nothing but white people, bro. And I was like, man, back then they used to just put only white people. Like that was a standard. And then
it's gonna change, bro. Everything's gonna change.
Oh yeah, like the fact that they put a gay black woman as this guy's commander is like, damn. Like she even. I was wondering how, but at one point in the movie, she has a baby with her wife, and she's pregnant and everything. I'm like, she got inseminated, right? That'd be the only way.
Yeah, bro. They're trying to blur the lines here, which is interesting to me. It's
for me, I was kind of like, man. The first thing I thought of is, man, there's a lot of kids watching this right now, and I wonder if they're getting confused. Like, wait, how did she get pregnant? Because I know that's what I thought of, right? So wait, so two girls can get pregnant? There's a lot of questions.
I guarantee you, there's a lot of kids asking their parents right now, like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it just brings up a lot of questions. Not that it's a bad thing, but it's interesting, right? All these dynamics.
I think it's a bad thing.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it that deeply, but
it's being banned in a lot of countries.
What is?
The Buzz Lightyear movie.
Oh wow! Is it because of that?
Yep, because of that.
Damn. Don't you think those countries are a little sensitive though?
The whole thing behind it is that they don't want their kids to be influenced by it.
Shit. I don't agree with censorship.
I don't. That's kind of.
Yeah, because it's like you're feeding your kids propaganda. I don't think that's right either. Right? Is to I don't know.
No, I think they're feeding kids their own morale, which I don't think is bad at all. You got to think about it. Who produces Buzz Lightyear? Which I don't know. Is it Pixar? Whatever.
Disney, Pixar. Yeah.
Okay. What gives them the right to have their movie?
Well, how about this? How about just don't fucking watch the movie? How about don't ban it? How about just don't watch it? Why do you have to ban it?
There's two coins. There's two sides to that coin. It's the country, because we're talking about a country. We're not talking about like an individual person. The country can easily tell the producers,
but that's what I'm saying though. Is my thing is like, why is a whole country like that? I don't want to live in that country. Whatever country banned it. Like, why would I would be pissed if the U.S. was like, you guys can't watch this movie because we don't agree with it. I'd be like, well, you shouldn't be making that choice for me. If I want to watch that movie, I'll watch it. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but at the same time, what gives Disney the right to think that they can broadcast their own agenda on the country? So it's not really. I don't think. The way I look at it is it's not us versus our country. It's kind of like the country versus Disney.
No, I mean, I get what you're saying, but I just would rather have the choice of, if you want to watch it, you can, but if my country's like, no, we're banning it, you guys can't watch that, I'm be like, ooh, what the fuck? What type of controlling bullshit is that? How about I watch whatever the fuck I want to watch?
Yeah.
Is that just me?
That's a liberal way of thinking of it. I don't.
Is
I don't
it,
hate
or is that just a free way of thinking?
That's what liberal means. Look up what
Is that what it
means.
means? I'm a little ignorant with that.
That's why they're called liberals. Is because we should just believe anybody should do what they think they should do. Yeah, 14 countries banned it. They're not giving me the list though. I see China here.
Yeah, I know. I knew China was one for sure. China be banning all types of shit.
China be having the weirdest animes.
But when they give us a fucking virus, they ain't saying shit, huh?
Yeah. Here's the thing, and I'm not for like. I'm not saying that I'm on the side of the country should allow Buzz Lightyear, because at the end of the day, I kind of do believe what you're saying is like, well, I mean, because I want to watch the movie, and if America said like, no, you're not gonna watch the movie, it's like, damn, like I wanted to watch that movie. What I think is a big deal, probably not, but I think
you don't think that's a big deal?
I think the bigger deal is,
bro, that's giving that's I don't know. Taking away a right to choose whether you want to watch something or not. That's, it's a fucking movie, bro. I don't know. I don't agree with that, but go ahead.
Yeah, I just see the problem being with the kids. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's where it turns into like, you parent your kid how you want. No one's gonna tell you that, If you don't want your kid to watch it, don't watch it. Tell little Aiden not to watch that shit, and that's it.
Yep, that's fair.
All right, guys. With that being said, that's gonna finish this episode of the Outlier Podcast. Thank you guys very much for watching. Again, comment, subscribe, and like, and let us know your predictions for the UFC. And if you're interested as well, drop your thoughts on the new Stranger Things episode, because damn well Roger and I are gonna watch that.
Yes, sir.
So make sure you guys check out his channel. It's gonna be in the description. And again, we'll see you guys next week on Saturday. Thank you guys very much. Peace.